It's a hello then. We are taking you away from US programming for a first on CNBC interview with Pekka Lundmark, the CEO of Nokia. Now, speaking of which, the Finnish telecom equipment maker did report a profit beat, boosted by 5G contracts, of course, and said that demand does remain robust. Net sales for the fourth quarter did grow 16% to 7.45 billion euros, beating estimates, while operating profit rose to 1.15 billion euros. Now, the CEO is indeed joining us now, Pekka Lundmark. Thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it. Would you say perhaps that you've found your mojo in a way? I mean, picking a part of a market that works for you, like the 5G rollout, has certainly been very key, very instrumental, something that you've invested in quite a while ago.
Yeah, obviously, last year was for us a year of acceleration. We had full year comparable currency growth of 6%, very much driven by, yes, as you said, 5G rollout, but not only that. We are not only a mobile networks company. We had 14% growth in the fourth quarter in our network infrastructure business, which is actually accelerating in growth in optical networks, in fixed access networks, in IP routing. So it's fairly broad-based growth.
Yeah, that broad-based growth then has also helped you with deals like the one you've recently just re-signed with Samsung, of course, just extending sort of the deal you did have with them before. How much is that worth to your business then?
Well, the terms of the contract are confidential. Samsung has been our long-term customer in technology licensing, and now we signed a new deal with them, which is a multi-year deal. But as I said, the terms are confidential. We are very pleased with the deal.
Are you looking beyond smartphones then for some more of these royalty deals?
Well, in general, smartphone licensing has been the core of our technology licensing business. But yes, we are expanding to new segments like IoT, automotive, consumer electronics, audio and video codecs as well.
Yeah. Where are you seeing growth then when compared to some of your competitors? I mean, what do you think you're doing better at right now?
Well, we are clearly taking market share at the moment. I mean, we invested a lot additional dollars or euros in technology development last year and the year before, and it is starting to generate results. I mean, we are taking market share in several segments at the moment, and of course, we are the only non-Chinese vendor in the world who is a player in all key parts of the network. So, as I said earlier, this is definitely not only a mobile play. This is very much a play that is taking advantage of the big growth in demand for example, home working and fixed broadband connections to people's homes.
Yeah, you may have certainly even seen a greater expansion, as you said, over the last year, but certainly the years of COVID have certainly helped the tech sector in general. Are you fearful at all about a global recession and how that may impact your business? I mean, how much risk do you face in the midst of a recession in 2023?
Hey, look, none of us is immune to the macro trends, but it is important to remember that in our case, our business is not only driven by macro, because there is this big underlying digitalization trend in the world. We estimate that only 30% of the world economy is digitalized compared to what the true potential is. So that is the underlying trend that we are riding on. But of course, I mean, cycles come and go. Despite the fears when it comes to the economy, we are actually expecting 2 to 8% growth in 2023.
And then China reopening, I mean, supply chain issues have certainly eased across the board, it would seem. How much impact and how much positivity comes from China reopening for your business?
Well, the China question is a little bit early to say, because in our case, it has been a market which has been fairly weak. The market shares that are available to non-Chinese vendors in China have been going continuously down for various reasons. But then on the supply chain side, there we have reason for optimism in general, because we talked throughout 2022 about the semiconductor supply chain challenges. That situation is much better now. Availability starts to be close to normal. What is not yet fully normal is lead times, which means that that companies like us, we have to carry more inventory, buffer inventory than usual. But hopefully that would also start normalizing then during 2023.
Yeah, the money you've spent then on your network has been quite prolific, and it's certainly bearing fruit, one would say then right now. Would you be able to share maybe why you're not able to be as cautious, or you don't have to be as cautious as your competitors when it comes to the enhancement and the spending when it comes to your 5G network in particular?
Well, we are just looking at the facts. And that's all we have. Of course, there is weakness in global economy. I mean, we all know that. But at the same time, it is a fact that we started this year in relative terms with a stronger order book than what we started 2022 with, and we have a good pipeline of new cases that we are working on. Does that make us immune? No, but that certainly supports the 2 to 8% growth target that we have for this year.
Yeah. You said that the macroeconomics aren't, you're not immune to any of those. And with many efficiencies being sort of laid out by a lot of your competitors as well, a lot of people within the tech sector, are you looking at any job cuts to enhance any efficiencies, not necessarily because, any parts of your business are doing too badly?
Our businesses are working on these questions all the time. It is really responsibility down to every individual business to optimize their cost base all the time. And again, ultimately, it's our customers and our volumes that will determine how many employees we will have in the organization. But again, I mean, we are looking at 2 to 8% growth this year. And of course, that requires capacity to be able to deliver all that. But again, this is something we are watching very carefully at the moment.
Very carefully indeed. Pekka Lundmark, thank you so much for the time. Appreciated, with those numbers then being fairly interesting and ones to certainly pick at as well for some time. The CEO of Nokia, Pekka Lundmark. That's it then for now with our first on CNBC interview then on Nokia's earnings. We'll hand you back to our colleagues stateside.